We made it! Still alive, still in one piece. It's a very exciting day for me today. I'm just on my way to go look at a motorbike now, and I think this might be the one. Here we go. So I've been looking for a bike like this for quite a while now, and it's hard to find exactly what I want because what I want is quite specific, and I'll explain, I'll show you the bike. Hopefully this is the one. This is the closest one I've seen online to what I want, so we'll go check it out now and fingers crossed. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hey, all right, we are done. The bike is officially mine. I have made the purchase. I'm really happy with this. So I didn't actually film much of the whole interaction. I put the camera away. I had my Thai friends there with me to sort of help and make sure I was getting all the correct paperwork and everything, because this is my first time buying a bike here and I wasn't sure. I read online of what I need, but my friends, they've got the actual experience of living here, so they were able to help with all that and ask the questions that I wanted to know, because the guy didn't speak much English and my Thai is not very good in terms of asking motorbike questions. I'm conversational, but that's it. So anyway, super happy with this. I'm going to take it home, go over it properly, and I'll explain exactly why I bought this particular bike. So this is the Honda Dash. It's a 125cc two-stroke. These bikes are really cool. They've got a real cult following here. I'll explain why I got this, because it's quite a random purchase, I know, but these bikes are super popular here. They actually race them. They use them in the street racing and the drag racing that you would have seen. Chad's featured a whole bunch of those videos. They're insane what the guys do to these bikes. They're popular because they're cheap to buy, and with a 125cc two-stroke engine, it's fun to rebuild them and see how much power you can squeeze out of these small engines. Now, because these bikes are really popular for racing, that means they're also really hard to find, and they're hard to find in stock form. They're either really cool, like finished, they're popular to restore. People like to buy them, restore them, do them up. And they're also popular for people to turn them into race bikes, basically. So finding one that's stock is really hard. Finding one that's in good condition, because they're either in really shitty condition or they're amazing condition. So something in the middle is quite hard to find. This is the only one that I could find online that had mirrors attached to it. But to add to that, the bonuses of this particular bike is it's in reasonably good condition. I want to restore it. I want to do it up myself. So I don't want a finished product. I want to have the fun of doing that. This one also has the tax, or the registration is paid for the next 8 months, which is a huge advantage. I don't have to go through that. I've got the green book, I've got all the paperwork, everything you need. A lot of that is hard to find because these are race bikes, or people race them. So they get handed from person to person a lot of time. The tax and registration and the green books don't get transferred over properly. So that's a whole separate bunch of challenges. But this one's good. It's got brand new tires. The guy that built this one, he actually has another couple that he builds, and he enjoys restoring them and doing them up. So I could see this bike was in good hands. It was well looked after. And it was the right choice. It's the right bike for me. The changes I plan to make to this bike are mostly cosmetic. There's just things I want to brush up. I would like to change the color, the plastics and everything. I would like to change the wheels. A few other little blingy bits. You know, this is Thailand, so you got to have a blingy bike. But a lot of it I can do myself. And the good thing about having a two-stroke bike is I can pull that engine completely apart to a bucket of bolts and put it back together myself on the side. I could do it right here. You know, it's no issue to me. Two strokes are super easy to work on. I've been working on them my whole life, and it's just nice to know that if anything went wrong with this, I can fix it myself quite cheaply. And then to add to that, they're just such a cool little bike. Okay, so the plan is now I'm gonna take it home and give it a good looking over. I just like to go over a bike when I first get it. I'll take some things apart, put some things back together, just so I know for my peace of mind that everything's tight, everything's how I want it. And then I don't have to worry about that in the back of my mind. But this will be my first time on a bike in Bangkok. I've ridden in Pattaya, I've ridden in Chiang Mai, I've ridden Phuket, I've been all over, especially in the countryside, but never here in Bangkok because the streets are a little scary. So wish me luck. Well, so far so good. It's a little scary when you're riding because people are all over the place, changing lanes everywhere. So you're going to be in your mirrors watching what everyone else around you is doing a lot. And you've got to also be watching the road because there's potholes everywhere. The roads here are terrible, but so far so good. We made it! Still alive, still in one piece. Man, riding in Bangkok is a little bit like motocross. The terrain is super gnarly, it's scary, it's dangerous, it's fun. It feels like everyone around you is trying to kill you, but I had a good time. It is hot though, so my thoughts on the bike are, it went great. I was actually really happy with how it rode. The seating position is good. It's quite a natural seating position. So that was the only thing I was concerned about. Like there's other two strokes that I like, right? Like there's the Kawasaki KR150 that I really like, but the way you sit on that, you're really leaning forward. Whereas this is a really neutral seating position. The ride for me now was about an hour and a half to get back into the city, and I'm not sore or anything. So that is a real win because I do want to take it on some longer rides as well. All right, I am home, and oh my God, I timed that perfectly. Check out this. Thunder, lightning, and it's pissing down. Perfect timing. Yeah, so my thoughts on the bike are, I am very happy with it, really happy with how it rode. There's a few things I'd like to tweak on it, but that's just my personal preference. I wouldn't mind if the front suspension was a little bit more stiff. I can do that easily. I'd like it all a little bit tighter as well. It's just like a little bit of play in there, which I'm not a huge fan of. But apart from that, it rode awesome, and I'm really happy with how it sat on the road and how I felt riding it. It feels like a little, almost feels like a BMX with a motor in it, really. There was a point I was doing a U-turn and I couldn't quite make the turn in front of the thing, and I just lifted up the front wheel and threw it to where I needed to go. So really good for getting around the city. I won't use it as a general mode of transport, but it is good to know that if I am navigating my way through here, that I am comfortable doing that. So it is now the following day, and I've come down to do a bit of work on the bike. There's a few things I want to do to it. I came down last night and had a good look over it and checked everything. And overall, I'm really happy. I came down here with a beer, because that's how you work on bikes. And there's a few things I want to change, a few things I want to fix, clean up. So if you're interested, I'll do that now. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Come check this out. So most of the things are really minor. I'm going to give the bike a big overhaul soon, but the things that need work are just little things that you expect from buying a bike in Thailand. Like we've got a missing bolt here. There's a few other places there's bolts missing and things held on with cable ties. Loose shifters, the chain, like this is all new. The chain's new, the tires are new, the wheels are new, which is great. But the chain's too tight, so the wheel doesn't even spin easily. A few other little things. The front end it felt like a little bit loose to me, so I'm just going to check the bearings and maybe tighten up the stem there. That's an easy fix. The bars also have a few scratches and rust spots on them, so I might give that a bit of a clean up. And then just minor setup things like the levers aren't even, like the clutch lever's lower than the brake lever, just little things like that. So we're gonna play with all this now and get it sorted. This is exactly why I wanted to do this and check over the bike. So that rear axle nut was completely loose, like probably finger tight. So the guys, when he's put the new wheel and tire on, he obviously just did it up finger tight and forgot to tighten it all the way. So now I'm adjusting the chain and I'll fix that. And that gives me the peace of mind knowing that I've checked over everything on this bike. Scary. The front wheel nut's loose as well. Oh man, makes me nervous, like how far I actually rode it to get it home. Crazy. Like, finger to the fucking hell. Well, that's all the hard work done, so now just the fun part, I get to put it back together. All right, done. I am so glad I did that, especially like finding things like the loose wheel nuts. That's just crazy. So now I have the peace of mind. I've got it all how I like it. I've fixed everything. I've tightened up the front end. It feels good. It's all to my liking. So now there's only one thing left to do.